You don't get to be a YouTube personality, Twitch streamer, content creator, influencer, or a professional wrestler without having lots of opinions. But there has to be more to it than that. Conviction is important too. So, when I say Mario Kart Double Dash is the best Mario Kart game ever made, I mean it. But what really bums me out is that Nintendo never returned to the fantastic ideas they came up with for this game. Double Dash marks the greatest missed opportunity for any video game series because of the genius way that multiplayer is layered into an already perfect formula. Grab your favorite racing buddy and make some blue sparks with me and Austin Creed, aka Xavier Woods, as we complete Mario Kart Double Dash.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of The Completionist, where we don't just beat the games, we complete them. And if you'd like even more completionist goodness, consider joining us over at patreon.com/thecompletionist. Now, as you may have noticed, I've got a special kart partner here today, the incredible Xavier Woods of WWE fame, and most of you might know him as Austin Creed of UpUpDownDown on YouTube.
Well, I appreciate that, Gerard, and thank you for mentioning the gaming channel and not just the wrestling. It's nice to be known for more than one thing.
Dude, I totally get it. I respect the hustle. Me personally, I have a lot of different interests that I don't actually get to show off here on YouTube.
Okay, like what are we talking about?
Knitting.
Knitting, that's an interest. I just got a Golden Girls cross-stitching book, so maybe we could, talk about those things together.
Yeah, I love knitting.
It's something that people do sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
Here comes a new challenger! Yes! Danger!
Mario Kart has easily been in the top multiplayer franchises in all of video games, ever since the first game way back on the Super Nintendo. And while I feel that a lot of people really think fondly of Mario Kart 64, or Mario Kart 8 in this situation, for me, the one that takes the cake has got to be Mario Kart Double Dash for the Nintendo Gamecube. The Gamecube entry into the series made several important updates to the formula that elevated not just Mario Kart, but the entire concept of multiplayer racing.
The Gamecube was a freaking revolutionary system for multiplayer games in general, but Double Dash is the best example of what the system was doing to push the limits of multiplayer gaming. In older Mario Kart games, players selected characters with different weight classes and raced their way to gold, picking up helpful items along the way. Now in Double Dash, players still chose characters, but also their karts, and then it's off to the races. There are different cups to compete in with several tracks in each cup, and there are different difficulty levels with higher and higher speeds to contend with. But getting first place is about more than just driving fast.
That's right, Mario Kart races are also about knocking other racers into last place with iconic items like the blue shell or the lightning bolt. These games also have a surprising amount of depth, and getting first place in the 150cc races forces players to master advanced techniques like drifting and boosting.
Having 2 players per kart was a game changer. Double Dash upended the whole formula by adding an extra racer per kart, giving players the option to switch who was driving and who was handling items. What's more, each individual character can hold an item and even pass them back and forth between each other. This 2 racer per kart system added several layers of complexity to the formula and amped everything up about 50 notches. Alright, Double Dash to me is the greatest game of all time, and anybody who thinks that they're man or woman enough to step up against me and the Completionist needs to do so, because you're gonna get dropped so fast that you won't even know what happened. You're gonna be looking forward while you're walking backwards, because that's how bad we're gonna whoop you.
Easy, Austin, easy. Sorry, I'm not trying to stomp on your hype. This is the part of the show where we just try and give some general information about the game, why people still talk about it to this very day, why it is what it is. Kind of like a prelude, an intro.
Yeah, but the hype.
Hold it in, my friend. The hypest moments are yet to come.
Fine. Well, I can say with authority that Double Dash was a giant hit in 2003 and is still one of the most beloved GameCube games that exist today. Something about the core mechanic of racing with a partner really resonated with people. It just goes to show that everything is better with a friend. It makes sense. I mean, imagine how much better going to the dentist would be if you could swap with a partner anytime you wanted.
It's true. Double Dash was the first Mario game to appear on a home console in 7 years, and people were hungry for the intense kart racing that only Nintendo could provide. It was the return of greatness. And even with the outrageous success of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Nintendo Switch, there is still something about Double Dash that makes it extra special.
Gerard, do I have permission to get hype?
Permission flippin' granted, my man!
Alright, great. The thing that makes Mario Kart Double Dash extra special is the fact that you have a partner the whole time! Everything that makes this game great literally comes down to this.
Mario Kart Double Dash is the greatest Mario Kart of all time. It's also easily the most fun kart racer to complete because for the first time, it let another player in on the completion action. Completing Double Dash is infinitely more fun than completing any other racing game because to truly excel and master this game's techniques, you must be totally in sync with your partner. Now, I won't lie, completing games can sometimes get real lonely. I'm glad we can knock this one out together. It really makes such a difference to do it with someone else. This game is 100% meant to be played with another live person. I'll say it here and I'll say it now. Online multiplayer and Double Dash do not mix. And not just because Nintendo is just as bad at online now as it was in 2003.
I still think it's incredible that every single mechanic is designed around playing this game with another human. I mean, yeah, it's doable with one person and a computer player, but it's so much less fun to do it that way. If you have someone with you to play through every Grand Prix, it's as if you're honestly speed running the game together. I'm gonna go ahead right now and say that consistently getting blue sparks with another teammate is perhaps the greatest evidence of closeness that two human beings can exhibit. Being that in sync with somebody else, it's beautiful. Playing with a talented partner, you never have to slow down, racing to glory against other computer players to earn first place and unlock everything feels very different on a couch in co-op. That energy, you can feed off of it, and I think it makes you a better racer.
Your team does well because of the combined skills of the individuals. It is an incredible feeling that is still unmatched in Mario Kart games today. Not to bring math into it, but the main racing campaign is 10 times more fun with a friend, especially if you're gonna go with the Team Koopa variation. For the first time, the characters that each player chooses have a powerful influence on how each race is played beyond just weight class. Each racer can use different special items during the race, the greatest of which has got to be the triple red shells that only the Koopas can collect. And even more than that, the racers that players choose dictate which car can be driven. Since each kart is bearing the weight of two drivers, the heavier character determines which kart can be selected. So if one character is in a lighter class like Baby Mario, but player 2 chooses a big boy like Donkey Kong, the kart has to go to the heavier class to support Kong's weight. Not that there's anything wrong with being a Husky 8 with a kick-ass tie.
Oh, there's no doubt we'd both be driving Bowser-sized karts. The karts in Double Dash are definitely harder and heavier to control than in any Mario Kart game before or after because of the two-driver element. But a smart team can blast through maps by being totally in sync. Learning how to get the best boost at every opportunity takes a little bit of effort, but it is essential to master if you're trying to complete this game by getting a golden trophy in every cup. Even if you're not the driver, you still have a hand in how well the team does. The character in the back can punch other racers and steal items and help control the drift and boost that propels the kart forward. But the elegance of this game really comes from being able to swap the drivers in the front and back seat at any time.
Has this ever happened to you? You're zooming through Rainbow Road, but you keep flying off the edge because sometimes those turns are a little more sharp than you remember. But guess what, my friends? All is not lost because your partner is way better at cornering than you. Switch it up and win that gold. It's incredible to swap on the fly with someone who might know parts of the track better than you or knows how to find a shortcut that you didn't even know existed. All of this adds up to a racing game that is incredibly fun to complete. The human element is something I've come to really appreciate in gaming, and probably one of the reasons I admire people like Austin who make a habit of bringing people together to actually, talk to each other and play games at the same time. This tangibility makes games like Double Dash extra special.
Okay, I could not agree with you more. There's something about being able to turn to your teammate next to you, lock eyes with them, and say, "Here we go, bitch!" and absolutely crushing a 150cc run on Special Cup. It really feels like you've earned something together.
Not only that, I love that you earn even more tracks, karts, and characters the more gold trophies you earn. This isn't just gold for the sake of gold. There are entire additional cups and modes to unlock. The unlockable All-Star Cup, earned by winning the 150cc class in the Special Cup, is a beast, but clearing it feels like an incredible accomplishment, made even better because I could turn and Predator handshake my teammate and bask in the glory of victory.
You son of a bitch.
With all that being said, Double Dash is hype as hell, which makes the decision to never revisit the main Double Dash mechanic all the more heartbreaking and utterly baffling. I'm baffled. This is my baffled face. There have been 3 full-fledged Mario Kart games released on console since Double Dash, and not a single one of them brings back the 2 racers per car concept from this game, and that, my friends, is a damn shame.
Mario Kart Double Dash introduces an incredible concept for multiplayer racers, and Nintendo dropped it like a hot potato. In our professional opinion, that is a wasted opportunity. So if you've had the audio off for the past 10 minutes, clearly we both love playing multiplayer games, which is why it's so frustrating that the Double Dash system has never resurfaced. It was a great way to get newbies on board and into the pool, and a fun way to put experienced players through their paces.
I have been saying for literal years that every console Mario Kart since Double Dash should have some kind of Double Dash mode. I don't need more customizable wheels or gliders, just let me throw an extra rider onto my kart for couch co-op, baby! When Double Dash was at its most popular, I really thought that the main mechanic was the future of the series. So it really has bummed me out to see sequel after sequel that doesn't include the thing that makes this game so memorable and fun to play. I guess on one hand, that makes Double Dash even more special. That's much more unique to 100% complete, but it still feels like the series could have room for something like this. The Switch is perfectly set up for the next gen of Double Dashing. Someone please get on this.
I am very much in agreement with hashtag bring back Double Dash, longest hashtag ever, in some form or another. It was a great way to introduce people who had never played Mario Kart before to what the series was all about. Nintendo has done a great job of honoring their legacy, and I wish they would do more with the great foundation they laid out on the Gamecube.
I love when Nintendo pushes series in a brand new direction, but sometimes I wish they would reach into the vault and revive stuff that works. I would love to see a Double Dash mode in the future, maybe even more expanded and in-depth. Maybe a new type of battle mode to go with it. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. Tanks that take 4 people to control at once. Though of course for something like that to work, Nintendo would need to have some type of online that also works. So maybe next generation. I have faith they'll get it right someday.
And this game gets so much right. The music is banging. Easily one of the catchiest Mario Kart soundtracks. The selection of racers is awesome, and a great hint of what the future of the roster would look like. And the tracks are varied and interesting. Gerard's favorite track, Baby Park, is like the exemplifier of everything awesome about this game. The track breaks normal Mario Kart conventions by being shorter than normal, but having several more laps. And if you play it right with your partner, you can boost practically the entire way through, never once slowing down. It's so good.
One of Double Dash's greatest strengths is that the game is constantly giving new things to players throughout, even on the lower difficulty settings. Getting first place in every cup in the 50cc Grand Prix modes unlocks 4 new karts, but it's once you start beating the higher difficulty levels that the rewards really start to get good.
I've always been a big fan of more, and Double Dash gives more for every gold trophy. You have to play and play well for the chance to win this game's most difficult challenges. Special Cup, All Cup Tour, and Mirror Mode are locked behind gold trophies and specific difficulties. Earning gold in 50cc is easy, but we had to really focus in and blue spark like true professionals to make it through 150cc and Mirror Mode. But even though it can be tough, there really isn't another completion experience like this one. By the time All Cup Tour and Mirror Mode are unlocked, you'll be so in tune with your partner that it won't feel like work to move on to the next race. It's just blue sparks and drifting all the way to first place, baby! Nothing like it.
There's more to do besides Grand Prix mode, but it doesn't really count towards completion really. Double Dash has a battle mode, which is fine. It does its job, but it doesn't revolutionize the whole concept like playing Grand Prix with another person does. The time trials are intriguing, but again, they take away the core thing that makes Double Dash cool. The ability to play with another real-life human being. I'm solid enough at this game to set course records, but it's much less fun than mastering every course and racing against others. Beating certain times in every course unlocks a staff ghost to race against, basically the dev time to beat, which is certainly a challenge for sure, but it is a lonely one. These other modes are fine, but they're not what makes us the most excited to play. They are the side dishes that can be partaken in a little or not at all. The best kinds of unlockables are more ways to play, and Double Dash leans into this. I loved every new kart that we earned, and I especially loved all the unlockable racers like Toad, Toadette, King Boo, and Petey Piranha. This game is actually Toadette's first appearance. Got to give that little mushroom man a partner, and I guess the world just wasn't ready for Wah Toad at the time. Come to think of it, I think the world may never be ready for Wah Toad. Blasting through Double Dash with a friend is so incredibly fun. I'd still recommend it even if there weren't any completion bonuses. But luckily, there are. Even if they don't exactly set the world on fire, there are enough little nods to Completionist in this game to make it feel like there is something to work towards.
The most obvious unlockable is the Parade Kart, unlocked after winning first place in the All Cup in Mirror Mode, which always starts on Luigi Circuit and always ends on Rainbow Road, with every other course randomized in between. This kart is pretty freaking cool, as any character combination can clamber into it regardless of weight class. It's big, heavy, and sparkly like a wrestling championship belt. Maybe that's why I like it so much.
That's more than can be said for beating every staff ghost time. That's right, beating the dev records in time trials gets you nothing. Nada. Zip. Not even a banana peel. I got excited unlocking the staff times and performing race after race trying to beat the dev times, but there isn't any kind of tangible reward whatsoever. Not sure what I expected, but at least some kind of acknowledgement would have been cool.
What about the feeling of satisfaction that you've conquered the best Double Dashers Nintendo could put on that tiny little disc?
Maybe.
So, the last true unlockable isn't really much, but it's something. Getting a gold trophy in every Grand Prix mode not only unlocks every secret kart, racer, and battle mode stage, it also unlocks an alternate opening screen. Not the most amazing feather in your cap, but it's a nice nod to Mario Kart 64 and a way to let all your friends know when you fire up the Gamecube, their asses are toast.
Now that I'm on board with. I also love the subtle flex that you can pull on your friends every time you fire up the game by having this alternate screen be the first thing they see. Yet another reason to play with other actual humans, so you can see him, they can be like, "Aw, dang, he got the alt start screen, dude, he must be good." Yeah, we are that damn good. When we completed Mario Kart Double Dash, there were 13 karts unlocked, from the excellent Waluigi racer looking thing to the sparkly shiny parade kart.
16 tracks mastered, going in both directions because of Mirror Mode.
16 staff ghosts busted all by myself because the time trials are sadly one player only. 35 hours of total playtime.
And one amazing addition that needs to make a triumphant return: bring back the extra racer. Make a Double Dash mode, come on!
The appeal of Mario Kart Double Dash is undeniable. There hasn't been anything like it since, and that makes it all that much more special if you like kart racing games and have a brother or sister or neighbor or professional wrestler to play with. The game is 10 times more fun!
And Nintendo really knocked it out of the park by focusing on the human side to amp up both the competitiveness and the cooperation aspects, and honestly, there's really nothing like it. And so, Gerard, it's been a pleasure racing alongside you.
The pleasure has been all mine. So, with that in mind, guys, we give this game our completionist rating of completed.
Complete it!